Hi, this is Team 4's presentation with Mackenzie Candland, Mulaney Drinkwater, Chandler Cloward, and I'm Quinn Bevington-Clark. So everybody knows about COVID-19 or the coronavirus and how it has exponentially changed the world. Everything's shut down, there's nowhere to go, schools are closed, works are closed, everything's just kind of at a standstill. So I was personally also affected by COVID like everybody else. And this is especially true for jobs. I was always a student athlete, I was cheering, I didn't have a need to have a job because I was working, being an athlete, and being a student. Now I had no way to pay for my necessities, I had no reason not to have a job. So I needed to get a job ASAP, but the problem was COVID was about the world and I am at high risk, which means that if I do get the virus, it could be deadly because it does affect the lungs and I do have asthma. So I am at very high risk, so I did not want to get a job with the public. I didn't want to work at places that were hiring, which were one of the only places hiring, like Target, Walmart, FedEx, because you were in close contact with people at all times of the day. So I needed to find a solution and I needed to find a solution fast. This is what brought me to finding a job through a textbook rental company where I get to work from home. It's so easy and simple and I have become so blessed. I get to wake up right before my shift, I just get to clock in and start going to work. I'm able to choose my own schedule, I'm able to work for 4 hours a day instead of 8 if I'm feeling really ill. It's just been a really big blessing for me during this whole pandemic. I also am able to take care of my pets that I have here, or my plants, or anything that I have, because I'm able to work from home and do those things that if I was at a job, I wouldn't be able to do. So I'm here to tell you today, work from home.
So why should you be working from home? Reason number one why you should be working from home is to reduce your costs. By having your employees work from home, you're going to be saving money. Employees and employers will save money, and during these weird times with the coronavirus, you want to cut back on all your unnecessary costs, and what better way to do that than to have your employees work from home? Your employers are going to be saving money on office energy usages. Because employees are not coming into the office, you will not have to pay to heat and cool the office. Heating a house in the winter costs anywhere from $250 to $350. Now just imagine how much money it costs to heat up a whole office building. By having your employees not come into the office, you're going to be saving money. By not having your employees come into the office, you're also going to be saving money on water, appliances, electronics, and electricity. That's going to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year if your employees are not coming into the office every day. Another thing that you're going to save money on is office supplies. At my office, we use so much unnecessary paper and paper clips and other office supplies when we don't need to be doing so. Technology allows us to work from home and not use so much paper, so why would we not be doing that? We're going to cut back on all of our paper prices, or paper costs, pens, pencils, paper clips, staples, and those things are by no means the most expensive things, but they add up to be really expensive in the long run. Another thing to think about is rent. The average rent, I would say, is around $1,200. My boss pays $2,500 rent each month for his office space. Before we upgraded, he used to pay $1,200 just for a little office space, just for your employees to come to work. By downsizing, or even just having your employees work from home, you are going to save thousands of dollars a year. Another thing that's awesome is not only do your employers save money, but you, the employee, is also going to be saving money. I don't know about you guys, but it takes me about 25 minutes to get to work every day. I spend $35 every week on a tank of gas just to get to work. If I wasn't driving to work every day, I could be saving $600 to $1,200 a year on just gas driving to work. Another thing to think about is I'm spending 25 to 30 minutes driving to work and back every day. That's an hour. And someone once told me that time is money, and I'm wasting a whole hour of my day driving. So if I could eliminate that and work from home, I could be saving even more money. I don't know about you guys, but at about 12 o'clock every day, I get really hungry. My stomach starts to growl, and that's when I either get in the car to go get some food, or I Grubhub or Uber Eats something. An average meal nowadays costs about $12 with a drink. A study says that the average American spends $3,000 on lunch and coffee while at work. Just imagine how much money you could be saving if you were working from home, eating what you already have in the fridge. You'd be saving money and you'd be making your wife happier by not letting all your food that you have in your fridge and refrigerator spoil. Another thing to think about is by not going into work every day, you're going to cut back on all the costs that you have to make yourself look presentable for work, such as dry cleaning, laundry, and if you're a girl, makeup. Makeup is so expensive. I've seen my wife's receipts on how much money she spends on makeup, and she doesn't even wear a lot of makeup, and it's crazy expensive. By simply just not getting ready every day, you are going to be saving money. Another thing to think about. A lot of students or employees also have children, and what do you do with your children when you go off to work? You either have to pay for babysitting or daycare, because grandpa and grandma only want to watch your kids so often because they want to enjoy their retirement. Babysitting and daycare are really expensive now. They used to be pretty cheap, but the numbers just keep getting more expensive. And a great way to save money is just to work from home. You don't have to pay for that, and you're going to be saving hundreds of dollars a month, and you could apply that number and that money to your family by doing activities during the weekend and make your family happier. By not going into work every day, you're going to be saving a lot of money. And technology makes it so easy for us to work from home, so why would you not want to do so? You're going to cut back and save money. You're going to cut back on all your unnecessary costs, and if you work from home, you're going to save money.
What is another reason that you should work from home? I will tell you. Go green. Now let me show you some really interesting images. These are images taken from the ozone monitoring instrument from NASA's ARA satellite. These are pictures taken in areas of the United States that you'll be familiar with. This is New York City. You can see from this image the nitrogen dioxide levels in the United States from March 2015 through March 2019. The darker areas are the more concentrated nitrogen dioxide levels. Nitrogen dioxide is very harmful to our environment and the #1 leading cause of global warming. Now this next image is the same diagram taken by the same instruments in March of 2020, during the middle of the coronavirus outbreak. What makes this different? People were working from home. People and employers were allowing every employee to work from home to stop the spread of the coronavirus outbreak. You can see that levels were significantly lower during this time. In fact, the levels in March 2020 were over 30% lower than they have been in the last 15 years. That's amazing. Now, it's not just about global warming. It's not just about the health of our earth, but it's about the health of our bodies. Nitrogen dioxide affects our bodies and the air we breathe every single day. Nitrogen dioxide causes a range of harmful effects on the lungs and body. Increased inflammation of the airways, reduced lung function, higher risk of asthma attacks, and greater likelihood of emergency room visits resulting in hospitalizations. New research also suggests that nitrogen dioxide is the leading cause for childhood asthma. Janie Hine, a natural resource director of the NYU School of Law, said that no single activity contributes more to greenhouse gas emissions than driving to and from work. Transportation is the #1 source of emissions, and light-duty vehicles contribute the lion's share of carbon emissions. The most common mile traveled by households operating light-duty vehicles is the one to and from work. If you look at this chart, you will also see that electricity usage is the #2 contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. You can do your part to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and healthy environment by working from home in two ways. One, not using your vehicle to transport to and from work, but two, by reducing electricity usage. Employers don't have to provide facilities for employees who are working from home. So that will cut the cost and cut the electricity usage almost in half. Now, employees who work from home are better in a lot of ways, but it can be hard sometimes and it can be discouraging. But research suggests that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can do your part by working from home 2 to 3 days a week and still contribute an enormous amount to helping the climate and reducing the impact on air quality.
Why else should you work from home? Increase job satisfaction. According to the text Psychological Science and Public Interest, overall telecommunicating increased job satisfaction, performance, and feelings of commitment to an organization among employees. People who teleworked also tended to experience less work stress or exhaustion. In comparing job satisfaction to those who work from home versus those who work in an office, there are various reasons as to why people would prefer to work from home. For one, it brings the commute time to 0, which is a huge deal to employees. So big, in fact, according to Inc.com, researchers in England found adding an additional 20 minutes of commuting time per day has the same negative effect on job satisfaction as receiving a 19% pay cut. People are relating additional commuting time to work to a pay cut, so that is a huge deal to employees and a big reason why people have increased job satisfaction when they work from home. Another big reason is there are fewer distractions. According to smallbizgenius.net, 86% of workers prefer to work alone to achieve maximum productivity. This is a huge deal for companies because they want to keep people on who have a higher amount of productivity, and as employees we want to have a higher amount of productivity too. And there are so many distractions. 61% of respondents to the survey said loud colleagues are a major distraction in the office. And that is a huge deal. You are trying to get your work done and your colleagues talking over you or talking to you. When you're at home, you don't have those distractions. You can shut yourself in your office and just work away. People also said that 40% really dislike impromptu meetings. How annoying is it when you're in the middle of a task and someone stops you short and then you lose your steam and you just don't have the energy to keep going after that meeting? It's way less likely when you work from home to have impromptu meetings, and you can get your work done more efficiently and faster. Lastly, 86% of workers actually enjoy working alone. A lot of people don't like working in groups. They feel people hold them back. So when you work from home, you're able to work alone and get things done way better and to your liking. Lastly, one of the most important things that increases job satisfaction working from home is less stress. Work from home statistics provided by Fundera.com show that a whopping 82% of telecommunicators reported having lower stress levels. This is so important in a job because stress is one of the biggest issues. Being able to control that stress and have less stress and overall sadness in your job generates an increase in not only job satisfaction, but in overall happiness in your life.
So what's another reason you should work from home? To support families, of course. There are 5 main reasons that I'd like to go over that support the fact that working from home will support families. Saving money on daycare alone should be enough of a reason to choose to work at home. But if you need more convincing, follow along. If you are working from home, that is the perfect opportunity to build stronger relationships. Unfortunately, with working or being at home so often can bring more conflict than one would want, but confronting the conflict and working through it and talking through it will definitely make the relationship stronger. Building a consistent routine is another benefit. Kids thrive off of structure and a schedule. Otherwise, it can just be complete chaos. If parents can get the okay from coworkers or supervisors from work ahead of time, they can set their work schedule around meal times spent together and even set scheduled breaks. Kids can look forward to those meal times and break times, and also look forward to 4 or 5 o'clock when parents are done working for the day, so that they can finally spend that quality time together. This leads me to my next point, which is within those break times, employees can spend more quality time with their families. As long as it is okay with coworkers, they can set those break times so quality time can be spent. This is a much better alternative as opposed to family members just waiting around until 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock when the workday is over. Children gain a sense of independence when they don't have their parents around. If mom or dad are not around to get them a snack or a drink, they can do it themselves. This promotes self-reliance, which is a great skill for kids to start practicing earlier on as opposed to later on. Now let's talk about how much money you can save on childcare if you choose to work from home. In 2011, the average annual cost of childcare was between $4,600 and $15,000. That's every single year. These numbers are insane. Imagine paying that much money on top of your gas expenses, food and groceries, mortgage, your rent, insurance, car insurance or health insurance, your utilities, taxes, cell phone bills. The list can go on and on when it comes to expenses. Even if parents choose to work at home 2 to 3 days out of the 5-day work week, they could save potentially at least 25% off of what they were originally paying. This would increase the pocket money drastically. It gives more room to pay for family vacations or organize sports for the kids or any other family activity. So here in this pie chart, you can see, this is just an example I found. In this pie chart, you can see that in the month of May, childcare was the highest expense during that month. Don't forget about the groceries. You can factor in student loans, the interest on your house. Imagine having to pay all of those things and childcare is still the most expensive. That just seems, it's unfathomable to me. So let's review. Why should you work at home? Reduce costs. Go green. Improve job satisfaction. And support families. Work from home. Thank you.